Hey y'all, Jim Pankey here, working on my banjo today. This is my Recording King M5, and over the past few years, it has developed an issue with a couple of the different tuning pegs where there's some slack and it's hard to keep it in tune, and it's getting to the point where it's like, I need to replace those things. And it came installed from Recording King with 5-star tuners from Stuart McDonald. And I thought, well, I didn't know, but I do now, and now you do, that StewMac offers a lifetime warranty on their tuners. So I reached out to StewMac, and they have sent me a new set of tuners for my banjo. And all I got to do is send the old ones back. This banjo had pearl buttons, and I want to continue to use those buttons, so they've sent me these with the ebony buttons that I'm not going to use. So we're going to pull the strings off this thing, and then we are going to take off the old tuners, put on the new tuners, and then we're going to change the buttons. And I'm going to show you all how to do that. You may have to do this. Hopefully you won't, but if you ever do, and you've got 5 stars, they got you covered. So Stuart McDonald, those folks are awesome. So we're going to do this thanks to StewMac, and I'm not going to struggle with tuning anymore. So how about that? So let's get into this. Well, alrighty. So first things first, get this capo off of here, and then we're going to take our strings off. And usually I don't take off all my strings when I restring my banjo, but in this case, since I am changing all 4 pegs, I'm just going to take all the strings off at the same time. So we'll just go ahead and do that, and then we'll get that done. We're going to speed this up for your pleasure. Now that we got the strings off there, we can dust off the headstock a little bit. I'm not going to take my cheetah keys off. Don't need to remove those, but we will clean up a little bit. You know, as y'all know, I'm not a real stickler for polishing and such. I kind of like the funk. So now we've got that. So let's take off this set of tuners. It's 3/8 inch nut. Just loosen that up. And these aren't super tight, just tight enough. There we go. I'm just gonna put these back together so you can see. That way we don't lose any parts. There we go. And that right there is one of the old tuners. Hopefully that's in focus. All right, so we'll just go ahead and get the rest of those done while, we'll just speed this up just for. And now all 4 tuners are off. We'll show you what that looks like. Here's you a little better camera angle, what it looks like without the tuners. Just nothing too scary. Now we're ready to put on the next set. One thing I want to show you before we start this, there's a little pin that sits on this tuner that presses into the wood on the back of the headstock. And so let me flip this over, and then I can show you what that looks like on the back of the headstock. Maybe I can show you this without too much glare, but you can see that little pinhole, and that's all that holds that tuner kind of and keeps it from spinning and twisting, and that way you don't have to tighten it up super tight and dent the back of your banjo. So let's put these tuners on here. Tuners come with this nut that screws down into the shaft of this tuner, and then it comes with a washer. And so the washer and the nut will go on top, and then the tuner will go on the bottom. I'm just going to slide this tuner in there and spin it until I feel it hit that pinhole, and I know where it's at. You don't have to hit the pinhole. If you didn't, I mean, if you forgot, you can crank it down on there and it'll make a new spot, and the tuner will not slip. So we're just going to put that on there. Get it finger tight. Sorry, I'm a little clumsy, y'all. And this 3/8 inch is what that is. And you saw I barely snugged that up. So let's go ahead and do the others. There we go. Alrighty, so now we've got these on here. Now we want to put these buttons. So there's just a flathead screwdriver, and so we're gonna put these buttons on there. I repositioned so you can see a little better, but I mean, we'll just speed this process up. You don't need to see all of this. This is a very simple process. So we're just taking buttons off. Don't lose your screws. All right, so we've taken the buttons off of the old set. Just got those all laying there. And now we're going to take the buttons off the new set. And we'll do one here. It really doesn't matter what order you do them. You may have to hold that and take that off. And then that button comes off. And then we can put on the new button. And the buttons, see if we can show you this. The buttons are keyed. They have, you know, a hole shape that matches the shape of that peg. I'm sure there's technical terms for it. I'm a banjo player. And we just put that on there, snug it up a little bit. Not too tight, not too loose. I don't know what the right answer to that is, but that's what you're going to do. And what I like to do is once I have one of those old buttons off, we'll just go ahead and put it on, or we'll put that button back on this new peg, and then we're going to put that peg in the box. That way I don't lose it. Remember to send it back to StewMac. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we got all our buttons on. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the black buttons on the old tuners that I'm sending back. Don't forget your screws. Don't want those to fall out. Put those in the box. All right, so we changed those buttons. We took the old ones out that were not working quite like they ought to. Got replacements from Stuart McDonald that were under warranty. And now I gotta string my banjo up and we'll be ready to go. So new strings, and I'll be back and show you how I adjust the tuners. All right, so we're all strung up, tuned up. We've got our new tuners, and But what if, you know, when I tighten those up, I said tighten them just enough, but not too much. You don't want to crank that peg, that screw down into your peg so tight that it's hard to turn. You want it to just be snug, and you want it to be tight enough that it doesn't slide, or you don't want it to do that on its own. And I can already tell you, these tuning up, they are so much smoother. The set that gave me some problems, which is unusual. I have several other banjos with 5-star tuners, and I've never had an issue. But you know, if it's gonna be, I'm gonna be the guy. If you know, if there's gonna be a problem, I guess. But these feel really good. But if for whatever reason it didn't feel like it was holding in tune, you just take your little screwdriver and you snug that up. Basically, I like it to be as loose as possible, but not too tight, but just tight enough to stay put when I put it there. Folks, I know this really wasn't a song lesson at all, not even close, but hopefully it showed you just some simple banjo maintenance that you can do. I've been doing this sort of thing since I got my first banjo in 1977. Within just a few months, I had taken it apart. You can truth, you can ask my parents. But it's something that you can do, I promise you. So, hey, thanks for watching, y'all. See you next time.